Good morning. I'm deeply honored to be with you here today at the launch of Interfaith America. I could not be happier for my dear friend Ibu and the incredible team, a family really, of dedicated, focused, and compassionate human beings. Our nation is so lucky to have you all working across America to reinforce ties that bind us together, to seek new solutions for our communities, to expand dialogue and pluralism, and to showcase the power of each of us to make a difference. When you started this work, it was important, but today it is critical for our future. The mission to reinforce, enhance, and build strong human societies is soft power at its best. I've spent the majority of my life working inside this space as a diplomat, and I know what it takes to find common purpose. Thank you for what you have done and what you will do. In the Islamic tradition, gardens are frequent reference points in the description of paradise and throughout Islamic poetry, music, and art. In their natural beauty, we can see many things and discover some important lessons. On Mother's Day, I was seated outside in a garden with my 82-year-old mom. We were near a tree that had been dead for some time. Mushrooms are now growing in a beautiful pattern on its bark. There are no leaves, so the top branches are bare. The tree stands erect, but it's dead. A few months ago, I noticed a woodpecker hopping up the mushrooms and working hard at something. It was making a hole, and it was loud work. Wood dust was building up in a small pile below it. The woodpecker kept coming back to the tree day after day. One day, it seemed to have completed its work. The result was a perfectly round small hole. And to my great shock, yes, I was inspecting its work every day, she, or he, had also carved out a cavern inside of the trunk, a refuge, a place of rest and protection. It was absolutely beautiful. But weirdly, the woodpecker never came back to live there. Then one day, I noticed something happening at the hole. A chickadee was going inside and outside of the hole, back and forth, back and forth. I wondered if it was building a nest inside the cavern and wondered why the woodpecker didn't fight for its territory. After all, it had done the work. But had it? Or was it just part of a larger project? The chickadee had indeed built a nest and apparently laid eggs, and from those little eggs, little birds had been born. For on Sunday, I witnessed their heads peeking out from the hole, chirping at their parents, asking for food. The work of the chickadee to raise a family was nonstop. It was in and out of that hole, feeding its young and watching the hole for predators. But the chickadee would not have had this nest for its babies had the woodpecker not provided a place of protection and ease. Even in a dead tree, there is life. Even when work is done for one purpose, it can impact others. Even though the garden was filled with other distractions that one could see, glorious roses, lilies, and peonies, it was important to listen for all kinds of sounds in the garden, not just from the loudest voices. So many forces contribute to the entirety of the garden. In America today, we hear all kinds of sounds. On our devices, radio, TV, there's a lot of noise, frankly, more than just soft chirping, I'm afraid. We hear voices of discouragement, anger, hate, righteousness, and divisiveness. It can feel overwhelming. But in this moment, our nation can have a different experience. we need to look into what we think are old, dead trees. Places that seem to have had better days. Places that may seem outdated. Places that seem prosperous. Places of worship, study, and community. Places that are established vehicles for action but do not have the things that they require to create new opportunities that will provide new outcomes. New generations require fresh attention. They require a way to connect to those that are different. Communities need to believe that there are ways to come together. Individuals need to be inspired to lead, to learn, and to leverage their friendships. I think a lot about our task, our hard work that we have to complete together, making spaces for others who are different from us, providing protection, giving refuge, offering something but not expecting something back. Doing what we know we must do to complete who we are, and keeping our focus on the possibility of what can happen because of our steady focus, dedication, and drive. And Interfaith America is a place for all of us, even those who may be standing erect but are empty inside, even those who fear difference, even those who do not fit into the mainstream places of dialogue and connection. To enhance an Interfaith America is to support communities that we must get to know and to fortify the ties within new generations. Our garden, from sea to shining sea, can be filled with new sounds, sounds of interest and respect for each other. I know firsthand that we can do this building when we have a vision that includes an openness and a willingness to create something that has not been created before, when we have to carve out a hole in a dead tree. May you have the strength, focus, and the partners you need to do this sacred work, Ibu. Congratulations to Interfaith America.